All right, guys. So I just got back from seeing Fast and the Furious 10, or as it's being called, Fast X. And I have to say, after seeing Fast 9, which if y'all been following me, y'all already know I despise that movie because it was just over the top ridiculous. It was a little too silly. It was too crazy, and I really wasn't feeling it. I don't know. They not only jumped the shark, they jumped the shark damn NATO at that point. I was like, I don't know where they could go from this film. So I was a little hesitant when I went in to go see it, and I have to say that they surprised the hell out of me. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Now, for those of you who need a little brush up or have no idea what the plot of the film is, the plot is pretty simple. It's basically, it takes place 10 years after the events of what happened in Fast Five, which is basically, when they stole the vault. Him and, Dom and Paul Walker's character, Brian, they all, and the whole team, or as they say, the family, they all went to Rio and they stole, the big vaults and this, that, and the third. And then in the events that Reyes ended up getting killed. So basically, Jason Momoa's character, who is the main villain in the film, is the son of Reyes, Dante, Enchanté, as he says in the film. And, all chaos ensues. So he's basically hell-bent on revenge against Dom for killing his father and all the events that happened in Fast Five, which, in my opinion, I call the Citizen Kane of the franchise. Now, what I particularly liked about this film is the fact that a lot of the characters got to take little side quests. So basically, it's a lot of jumping around. You got some characters in one place, other characters in the other place. Brian trying to get his son back. And it was great to see John Cena, even though he was the villain of the last film, they kind of brought it around and they played to his strengths. So basically, John Cena was sort of the comic relief of the film. It was great to see Jordana Brewster in this film, but they really didn't explain Brian's absence in the sense, even though we know what happened to Paul Walker in real life, they kind of just glossed over all of what happened with his particular sequence and, the baby and stuff. But of course, we see Jordana Brewster in the franchise, which makes no sense because you would think she would be with Brian, her husband and the kids, because she had two children, but she's in the film going along and doing things with all the other characters. Now, of course, everybody comes for the stunts and the family and stuff. You know what I was also thinking? I was thinking, we need to start playing a drinking game. Every time they mention family in these movies, we need to take a shot. In that case, we'd all be fucked up at that point because they mention family so many damn times in this movie, I lost track. But I have to say, I love Jason Momoa in this film. I thought he was a phenomenal villain. He basically was like Heath Ledger's Joker times 10. He was very flamboyant, very over the top. He was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I basically liked how he just played it up, this character. And they needed that because a lot of times the villains have been pretty weak in this franchise. So overall, I will say definitely go see this movie. Suspend your disbelief. It's a lot of ridiculous stunts, but you know what? The movie franchise doesn't take itself too seriously. So at this point, why should we? It's also left on a cliffhanger. So, and stay for the post credits because there's two of them.